Why are people saying that Haki system is one of the worst or one of the most inconsistent power systems among the top tier Sony manga? Well, I'll be telling you today why my personal opinion of why, and also giving you also general other different perspectives and other opinions and other viewpoints, so we can collectively decide that is the Haki system consistent or inconsistent? Is it good or is it bad? Let's find out. Before I start the negatives, let's talk about some positives, Starting off the fact that people like Roger, Zebek, Garp, or the Fist are able to match up with these titans, these masteries of devil fruits. For instance, Whitebeard. One single pack is able to destroy an whole island, and we're talking about Roger being able to match that or be more powerful than that. We have no idea based on the title if Roger is just the Pirate King because he found the One Piece, or if he's stronger than all these other characters, but assuming he's between both. And Garp being able to match up with these legends like Whitebeard, Kaido in the God Valley flashback. It's kind of cool for those characters like Gokobi, for instance, that are underdogs in this story, but are able to still get to a level where they can match up with these titans and these legendary figures. The next part is that I like the instances where different cultures, for example, Wano or Skypiea, they have their own specifics of Haki. So one has their own new method, but the other one has a new name, a new idea involving observation Haki. In Skypiea, we have, of course, Mantra. And then for Wano, we had Ryo, a completely new type of Haki that we didn't learn about. Of course, Garp knew, Roger knew, everything like that, but that's cool. The most important part of it is that each different culture, or generally all the cultures, have their own unique ability or power set that any other culture wouldn't have. A huge positive thing about One Piece's world building and lore. My dome quickly of the 4 main reasons why the publics dislike Haki, and I don't really blame them much. First reason is the Straw Hats. Outside of the main 4, and sometimes even the main 4, the rest of the Straw Hats don't have Haki. Zoro kind of just forgot he has Haki at a certain point. The most logical character to have Haki is, of course, Robin, out of course the ones that don't have Haki, because she's been working with the Revolutionary Army directly and Dragon. But what do you expect from Dragon? And with Dragon, what do you expect from Usopp too? Because his whole point of his story was becoming this legendary warrior, and yet he's still using the same weapon he used in goddamn Water 7. It's pissing me off. The rest of the Straw Hats, compared to the opponents, are underpowered because they don't have Haki, and having to be full on matched up with Shanks and Roger's crews, being one of the more powerful crews in history, and the Straw Hats are going to become one of the more powerful crews. It's kind of surprising that the rest of the Straw Hats, except for the main 4, don't have the ability that can scale the difference of strength between the crews. And also the fodder Marines having Haki, but not the Straw Hats. I know the different system of training, but we're talking about the Straw Hat crew, not some bullshit secondary kid crew or dog crew, but talking about the main characters here. Second part is visual portrayal. The 2 main things I want to talk about is Conqueror's Haki and Advanced Conqueror's Haki, and also Observation Haki. First of all, Conqueror's Haki and Advanced Conqueror's Haki. Only difference between them is that the strips of Haki is larger, which is the most dumbest shit I've ever seen in my life. Because smallest difference is the difference of strength between Luffy matching up with a character like Kaido and getting one-shot by Kaido. And it's just a small strip. We gotta be serious right now, Oda. And the next part is the Observation Haki. Outside of fight against Katakuri, Observation Haki has kind of been mid, not utilized properly, especially in the fights against Kaido, Lucci, and the five Gorosei. The next part I want to talk about is when Haki is used and when it's not. For instance, way before Marineford, the fight against Crocodile, one of the warlords matched up with the other warlords, for instance, Doflamingo, being defeated by goddamn water. Or Lucci, who's literally trained Marine, is not able to utilize Haki against Luffy. Of course, we know the general idea that maybe Oda didn't know about Haki before, but the whole point of it is that it's very inconsistent when it's used and when it's not. And after, especially after Marineford, when we learn about Haki and we know everything about Haki, Luffy being matched up with Lucci and struggling because he's not using Conqueror's Haki, or instances where he's fighting against Kizaru and we're struggling to figure out if he's using Conqueror's Haki, or in Elbaf when we have no idea what kind of Haki he's even using, or maybe he's not even using Haki. Like, these fights are very tense and created because of Oda's writing. Or Luffy is just so brain dead that he doesn't know how to fight. But when we're talking about Water 7 Luffy, when he can adapt that quickly, huge difference between pre-time skip and post-time skip Luffy in terms of his fighting ability, his adaptability, and his intelligence. The final one. It's a very basic power system in general. I know this is not much of a criticism, but in general, a system like Nen, for instance, is such a complex system with so much powerful characters that have unique abilities and unique specific details for each specific branch of Nen ability. We're talking about possible either strengthening your body, or looking into the future. And for those wondering what I mean by strengthening your body twice, Conqueror's Haki has just become that. It used to be more than that, but now it's just the weakest form of storytelling that Oda puts in to pretty much stalemate opponents for no reason, when Luffy can literally one-shot Lucci or any of these characters, but he decides not to use it. And Observation Haki, which is the most complex version, which isn't expanded on but for Shanks' ability, but not for any other character. But that's it for me. There are probably many other reasons why Haki isn't that interesting compared to Devil Fruits, or isn't as consistent as any other power system in well-known popular shonen manga. Like, in comparison to Naruto, like, even though Naruto's system is basic, it's still compelling, exciting. It's consistent somewhat, of course. Naruto, Shippuden and Naruto is just somewhat problematic in terms of writing, but in general, this isn't the most exciting power system. But that's it for me. Please like, subscribe, and share. I'll be doing more of these kind of videos, maybe some other videos outside. I want to really do some comic videos. I've been reading some comics lately, Spider-Man comics for those wondering. But yeah, hope you guys enjoyed. Like, subscribe, and share, and I'll see you guys later. Bye bye.